joining him on stage, someone who also needs no introduction, the tech OG of Miami, my father, Manny Medina. Give it up.
Can you believe this?
It's absolutely unbelievable, and I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody here for believing in us. Thank you, Manny, for believing in me, and Melissa as well. And it just goes to show you history in the making. This is truly, I would say, a field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. So we appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much.
I gotta tell you, Melissa and I, basically, when we were just at the very beginning, it was just an idea, and I told Melissa about it, and I said, you know, we really need somebody to give this the name, the credibility. It didn't even have a name yet. It was not called eMerge. And then through a friend of mine, we were introduced to Armando. I remember today, you know, meetings with Armando I've learned through the years are really, really hard work in the sense that we met with him for the first time. I think it was around 2 p.m. at Global, and Melissa and I were there. And then about midnight, that same day, you know, we basically had a partner. And I don't mean a partner in the sense of, you know, financial. This guy, actually, he said, you had me on hello.
It's the truth. It's the truth. The minute that anybody, you know, for one, I say it again, thank you, Manny and Melissa, for believing in me to be a partner in eMerge. Anything that has to do with us growing, building Miami and its reputation, you could count me in. So when Manny came over to the spot that I was at, we call it the Bat Cave. He said, we wanna create a platform, a home for technology, and allow Latin America to be able to have the same opportunity that everybody else has at Silicon Valley, Silicon Paradise. And not only is it an honor to be up here with you, but it's 10 years later, us having this conversation, and there's been over 1,000 companies that have come through the platform and have raised $2.5 billion. And that's the same companies that nobody would give a chance to. Nobody would give an opportunity to. And me and Manny both know, all of us do know, being Miami underdogs, what it is when nobody believes in you. You can either let that fire or that fuel burn you out, or you can utilize that fuel and that fire to say, and excuse my French, fuck that shit, we gonna make this happen. Yeah. So, and that's what we've done in technology, so thank y'all once again, we appreciate you.
So, I mean, and this is really what I love about Miami. Obviously, you know, Armando is becoming not only a close friend, but we just really is somebody that I truly admire. So what happened was, I mean, he has, if you saw his forearm, he has 305 tattooed here, basically. I mean, he is the original 305. He believes in this community, and it took him a nanosecond to understand the magnitude of what this could be. And basically, he went all in. He went all in with his time. It's the most important time. At the very beginning, when nobody even knew, we had a bunch of, we had a meeting at 8:30 in the morning in Coral Gables. This even before eMerge happened. And then I didn't really know him that well, so he said, "I'm gonna be there," and because we had a bunch of people. I didn't say anything. I said, you know, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden Melissa says to me, "He's here," and at the very beginning, at 8:30 in the morning, not even knowing he's there, so he gave us this. I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating this. This would not have been possible without Armando's very much dedication from day one, because it gave us the credibility that we needed at the very beginning. So, anyways, enough about romance. Let's talk about sex. So, anyways, tell me, Armando. One of the things that I admire about this guy is that, first of all, he doesn't stop, and second of all, he's one of the most creative individuals. So, over the last 10 years, I know you were all over the place in a good way, meaning you really, I mean, you're leaving for Vegas tonight, you have a show in Vegas tomorrow, you have your concert, you have everything that is going on. But specifically, as in your video, when everybody says that he's a teacher, even though you didn't graduate from high school, he's a teacher that actually set you in the right place, that's part, that giving back on education and to kids. You founded Slam. Slam was just a very beginning. Can you bring us up to date? Tell everybody what Slam is and where Slam has gone from then to now.
Well, first of all, I co-founded Slam. We had Fernando Solueta here and the whole team, and who gave us the opportunity to be able to build schools. Who believed in me, by the way, who said, you know, someone that didn't graduate high school, went to a lot of different schools, about 20, maybe 25, depending how you count them. Good neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods, worse neighborhoods, ugly neighborhoods. But it built a lot of character. And when I tell you that, yeah, I didn't graduate high school, but a teacher changed my life, and all she looked at me and said is, I believe in you, you got talent. Now, ironically, I was hopeless at the time. I was on a different trajectory in life, but it was a teacher named Hope, ironically, who gave me hope. And her name is Hope Martinez. Now that led to, I would always go and speak to schools everywhere I was at, different neighborhoods I was living in, and when I was coming up in the music business in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I would go to speak to different schools. I happened to be at one of Fernando's schools in Hialeah. And he saw me speaking to him, Hialeah, agua, fama y factoría. Perfecto, there it is. And when I went to go speak to the kids, Fernando saw what I had going on, and we had a good friend mutually who put us together and said, y'all gonna build a school together one day. So fast forward, we did Slam. It's been up for 10 years now, which stands for Sports Leadership, Arts, and Management. The reason that I got involved, because that teacher changed my life, and I feel that we can help and give these kids who they don't give an opportunity just to be able to tell them, not only do I relate to you, we believe in you. So Slam is now graduating at 100%. It's an A school. It's been up for 10 years. It's a public charter school, so 97% of these kids are the ones that need it the most. And now we're up to 12 schools, 10,000 kids around the United States of America. And it goes exactly why, thank you so much, I appreciate it, but it goes to show exactly why we're having this conversation here today. Is 10 years ago when we had this conversation about eMerge and what it was to be able to help those that needed the most. Not only can you count us in, but we're gonna go out there and fight for you and create, you know, these opportunities. And again, it's a blessing to be up here. So Slam is something that runs parallel to eMerge from the tech side of things, where we're involved. Anything that moves in technology, we try to be ahead of the curve with as well. And obviously we know what artificial intelligence is doing now and what quantum is doing now. And it's funny because I say there's two AIs. There's artificial intelligence, and then there's Armando intelligence.
I know which one I'll take.
But with that said, that's how we bring this all together, because we start with an idea that nobody really believes in, and all we do is we go for it. And we don't really let too many people know about what we got going on, because by the time they try to figure it out and maybe stop us,
but
we already did it.
Talking about AI, if we had an app that could actually quantify the impact, both financial and otherwise, that you've had on those 10,000 kids and all the thousands that have graduated, it's almost immeasurable, right? And that basically is, I mean, the sense of satisfaction that it gives you and knowing you is beyond anything that you could possibly think.
I mean, it's priceless. You know, you saw it in the reel that you just played, but that's one of the lines that I've always taken from Tupac. May he rest in peace, but he said, I'm not the mind that's gonna change the world, but I'm the mind that's gonna spark the mind that's gonna change the world. And when I say I mean we, I mean us. I don't do this by myself. It's a phenomenal team, phenomenal partners who have the same vision, same goal, same focus. And bottom line is to be able to do it in a time that, you know, the times that we're living in right now, I feel like the fake gets celebrated and the real get hated.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do real things without anybody trying to knock it down or write a headline. Like they say, if it bleeds, it leads. If it bleeds, it reads. So I'm the ultimate, and again, we are the ultimate, negative to positive. You know, that kind of things that fuel our fire. So to see this room full like this today, 10 years later, and eMerge, and have all these amazing companies come through, raise $2.5 billion, and change lives, priceless, like I said before. Y muchas gracias, de verdad, que es un honor.
Thank you. So I want to give everybody here an idea of the scope of Armando Christian Pérez, right? We started with Slam because I honestly believe in his heart, this is the most important, one of the most important things he's done in life. But talking about other business endeavors, so all of a sudden, Armando's become a big deal in NASCAR, basically, in car racing. And his team is like, I don't know, one of the top teams. So tell us a little bit about your NASCAR adventure, basically.
All right, so music, universal language, it brings everybody together, it unites, it doesn't divide. Education, universal language, it unites, it doesn't divide. And when it came to NASCAR and the team Trackhouse, when you look at cars and speed and things of that nature, it unites, it doesn't divide. It's another universal language. That's the way I looked at it. And then I fell in love with NASCAR's story. NASCAR's story is they started with bootlegging and moonshining. So it's an ultimate negative to a positive. Growing up in Miami in the 80s, ahí en La Pequeña Habana, on 5th and 5th, con todos los Marielitos, it's an ultimate negative to a positive. You know, and we grew up around a lot of entrepreneurs at the time, by the way. They were looking for angel investors and seed money and venture capitalists and the way to exit.
Different seed.
Different product, yeah.
Different product.
But same mentality, you know, same hustle. So you learn a lot from that. So it's the same way I looked at Trackhouse and NASCAR. I looked at it as an amazing opportunity. And the two owners that were coming in to represent for the minority cultures, per se, was myself and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is someone I look up to, I idolize, and a role model throughout my life, and I've found a way to apply a lot of his philosophies, let's just say. So I was like, bueno, pero, como dice Willie Chirino, lo que está para ti, pam, pam, nadie te lo quita. And I was like, well, it's a great time to get involved. And not only did we get involved, we have an amazing team called Trackhouse with Daniel Suarez, number 99, Ross Chastain, number 1. And we've made an impact. And NASCAR's been an amazing partnership and family, but they now see a different culture showing up to the races and how it's opened the doors to create opportunities for our communities who never really understood what NASCAR is. So now you create something where they can become a part of the pit crew, they can be a part of they can be engineers, they can be broadcasters, they can be drivers, they can be owners, they can be agents, managers, in a new world that they had nothing to do with. And I'm gonna rewind a little bit. When I really saw it, Manny, was one day we parked in NASCAR outside of Slam 10 years ago, crazy enough. And when I saw those kids look at that NASCAR, like if it was a spaceship, and they were just asking all kind of questions about it, I said, here is an opportunity to open the door and an avenue for our culture to get involved with an amazing sport, and at another level, an amazing business.
Fantastic, come on, I mean, listen to that.
You gotta get y'all for a NASCAR run.
This is like, let's talk a little bit about your main business, which is music, right? I know you're about to release a new album, right?
Actually, we just released one. We're working on another one now. We released Trackhouse Daytona 500 with the record that's doing amazing for us is with Dolly Parton.
Right, so I wanted to tell us a little bit about recording with Dolly Parton. You were tell me a little bit about her and how you now have a new love in your life.
Oh man, Dolly is the real deal. And then it's funny because it's Dolly and Dolly. It makes sense. And what I love about Dolly, she's also very low key. She's very, like I said, she's the real deal. And when we're gonna have our first conversation, she's like, look, I only speak on landlines, so you're gonna have to call me at this spot. And I was like, oh, I really like Dolly. So we kind of missed each other, but when we did get on the phone, she said, is this my future boyfriend who stood me up on my first phone call? I said, oh, I really like Dolly. So when we got together and I asked her permission if I could re-record 9 to 5, she gave me her blessings. And not only did she record it, she rapped on the record, which is crazy. And obviously she's a phenomenal writer. And when I got a chance to hang out with her in Tennessee, in Nashville, which is called Cashville now, because it's booming. And Dolly was like, well, you know, I want you to let the whole world know now that I'm officially Miss Worldwide. And anytime you hit the stage, you let them know that from Dolly, I say, oh, well, hey. So from Dolly, well, hey.
I don't know how she came up with a 9 to 5. I thought that was a great.
So when I got inspired to do the record 9 to 5, I was watching a documentary from Dolly Parton, when I love documentaries, and she was in the trailer when she was doing the movie in the early 80s, which is she did the 9 to 5 record 4. And while she was waiting in the trailer, she started playing with her nails. And that's how she came up with the lyrics to the song. So if you listen to the beginning of the record, that's Dolly Parton's nails going, and it just goes to show you that at any level, whether it be small, complicated, simple, or genius, it is genius how a creative mind can put something together and have such a powerful record. So to all the powerful women, Dolly Parton says thank you.
How do you?
So right.
That's awesome. A little bit more boring. So how do you think there's been a lot of AI fever at eMerge this year, and obviously I believe with the right reason. And so how is this affecting? Again, talking about the music industry, how is it? How are you using it? Are you concerned? Is it copyright? Is it is it easier? Is it more difficult? What is it doing to your world?
Well, I mean, like anything, the music industry / music business is always dealing with something new. So whether it's bootlegging of CDs, and then it went on to now it's streaming. It's always something that we've had to figure out how to pivot. Okay. But like they say, in crisis, there's opportunity. AI is something that if you utilize it, you don't let it use you, then it can be something very powerful for you. Example, for producers, anybody that's trying to pitch me an idea, they can send me a record with me on it, never getting on it, but either or, I can really see what they're thinking about and where they're going with it. When I first heard it, was it a little interesting? Yeah. I was like, oh shit, that's me,